Widening protests across Iran have turned deadly, with at least 7 people reported killed as public anger grows over the country's worsening economic crisis. Demonstrations began earlier this week and have now spread from major cities into smaller towns and rural areas, highlighting deep frustration with rising prices, unemployment, and a collapsing national currency. According to state-linked media and local reports, the deaths occurred during clashes between protesters and security forces in several provinces, including Loristan, Isfahan, and Khuzestan. Officials say some of those killed included both civilians and members of Iran's security forces, though independent verification remains difficult due to strict media controls. The protests were sparked by sharp inflation, food shortages, fuel price hikes, and the rapid fall of the Iranian rial, which has hit record lows against the US dollar. Many Iranians say their purchasing power has been destroyed, leaving families struggling to afford basic necessities such as bread, rent, and medicine. Initially, demonstrations were led by shopkeepers and workers angered by taxes and business losses. However, the unrest has since widened to include students, laborers, and ordinary citizens chanting slogans against economic mismanagement and government corruption. Iranian authorities have responded with a heavy security presence, arrests, and internet disruptions in some areas. The government has blamed foreign enemies and opposition groups for fueling unrest, while also signaling limited willingness to address economic grievances through dialogue. At the same time, officials have warned that they will not tolerate violence or what they describe as attempts to destabilize the country. Analysts say these protests mark the most serious economic-driven unrest since the nationwide demonstrations of 2022, though they remain smaller in scale so far. Still, the spread of protests beyond Tehran has raised concerns about whether the government can contain public anger as economic pressures continue to mount under international sanctions and regional tensions. For now, Iran remains on edge, with many watching closely to see whether the protests grow, or whether the government's crackdown will silence dissent once again.